Let's talk to Tom Jenkins in Machynlleth, the CEO of the European Tourism Association. Tom, good to see you. Are we really going to give up on sun, sea and what was the last S? Sand, I think.
Sand is a very good combination with sun and sea, you're quite right. I don't think we are. I think what you've just heard from Tui is that traditional holiday patterns still hold strong. I'm not saying there isn't a trend in different directions, but the bulk of European tourism, if you're looking at intra-European tourism, is dominated by families from Northern Europe seeking warm weather in the summer. And speaking as I am from rural Wales, we're not experiencing a heatwave here at the moment. And I think you'll find that there's still a huge demand, principally from Northern Europe, to go south to the sun. Notwithstanding wildfires, notwithstanding heat, there's still a huge draw. And it's very seasonal because demand is necessarily focused, if you've got a family, around school holidays. So we're still going to see that concentration.
I guess the issue is those families may choose to go further north in Europe. They won't put up with the risk of wildfires or water shortages, which is increasingly becoming an issue in southern Europe.
It's becoming an issue. It's yet to affect the vast bulk of holidaymakers. I think the headlines we heard are concerning. They're real. I don't question their reality, nor do I question the temperature inside cities. But you'll find that people going, and I must emphasize, I represent cultural tour operators, not sun and sea tour operators. But if you're looking at the overwhelming demand, there's not a great change in the pattern yet.
We are seeing a modest rise in average holiday spending, aren't we? Are travellers putting that extra cash into luxury experiences that folks are simply no longer looking at holidays as a luxury? They view them as a necessity.
Well, I think people now define themselves by what they do on vacation. And I think you're right, it is a necessity. It is very difficult to generalize. The great discussion at the moment is what's known as experiential holidays. But ultimately, every holiday is an experience, whether it's a good, bad, entertaining or dull. I think in general terms, people are starting to become a lot more sophisticated about what they want to do and where they want to go. And I think this is a welcome change.
Well, let's talk about cultural holidays. Let's talk about places like the Parthenon, the Acropolis. When you speak to people running those locations, they're deeply concerned about over-tourism, as it's known. I wonder if this gentle move towards off-peak and lesser-known destinations will mean a huge sigh of relief from those organisations running cultural holidays.
I think the case of over-tourism, again, it's a bit like wildfires. It's definitely occurring in certain spots, but it really only occurs in 3% of destinations. And in those destinations, it occurs really only about 3% of those destinations. There's no doubt there's crowding on the Acropolis. Extreme heat does dissipate that. People do not go at midday. And there's real crowds in central Venice. But a lot of Venice, for example, is not overcrowded, and a lot of Italy is not overcrowded, and a lot of Europe is not overcrowded. So there's plenty of space for people to go. But I don't think we're going to see a diminution in demand for the things that people want to see. People have got bucket lists. They've got an idea of what they want to see and be photographed there, and they'll still go there. There'll still be crowds on the Rialto in Venice, even in 15 years' time.
Well, let's look at 50 years' time and beyond. I guess in this warming world, Wales's holiday boom is on the horizon.
That's the way to look at it, indeed. I will give that prognosis here, and it will be most welcome.
Tom, good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. Tom Jenkins, CEO of European Tourism Association.